Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. I am Mambo. I am here to do the weekly energy reading. This is a reading I give to the community every week on Sundays. Occasionally it'll be on Mondays, but mostly on Sundays, just to give you guys a heads up about the energy of the week ahead of you. If this is your first time tuning in and you're just meeting me, hi, hello. I am the Coven Mother of Vision of Dawn Tour. I am the founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. And I am also, I'm from Oakland. I'll just leave it there. It's good to see everybody tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Divine 8. As you come into the room, just say hello. So that way I can see your name. I can know who I'm talking to. Hit those scale emojis as you trickle in. For those of you who are returning, you know that the scales are very important to me. They give me a lot of energy. They also align me with one of the spirits that guide me. So yeah, go ahead and hit those scales. Let's go ahead and get on into hi Conan, hi Aja, hi Drina, hi Divine 8, hi Flame from the Ashes. I know that this is about to be fire. Spirit has been kicking my butt all day with knowledge. Okay, so hopefully some of what I'm saying is in synchronicity with what the messages you've been getting from Spirit. Hey, Lady Raja Kwame. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to use a deck that I typically don't use. Even if I do use it, I mostly use it as a clarifier. But it's been doing a lot for me these last couple of days. So we're going to use Hoodoo Tarot as the primary card. Now, here's the thing. Even though I am using Hoodoo Tarot, and you may see a specific image on the card, I tend to read in the Rider-Waite tradition. So you may see me use a different language around the cards, okay? But let's just go ahead and get straight into it. We'll start with our general, and then we'll go into the other questions. If you are here because you saw me post in another group that Aja, if you wouldn't mind posting in some of the groups on what's that thing called? It's the green icon on WhatsApp and in Discord, letting them know that I'm live. I would greatly appreciate it. Hello, Tel. If you're coming here because you know that I take questions from the audience, not congratulations, but you're welcome. I definitely will try to get into as many questions as I can tonight. Please be patient and wait until after I am done with the general reading. I gotta have my moment of vanity because I'm telling myself, vanity almost kept me from getting on live today. I know. But I had a pimple, and I'm not gonna point out where on my face it is. If you see it, then you see it. If you don't, you don't. But then I remembered that if I didn't go live, y'all wouldn't be able to see my nails. Look at my nails. Look at my nails. Look at that. It's Maleficent. There we go. She's my favorite Disney villain. Okay. So the vanity of the nails won over the vanity of the pimple, and that's why I'm here. We're going to start with the general reading. I'll see where we go into from there. You guys know I usually do health, money, love, things of that nature. So let's go. Angels and master spirits walk with me. What do we as a collective need to know about the energy of the next 7 days ahead of us? What is the nature of the lessons, blessings, challenges, breakthroughs we will experience in the next week? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our environment, and the people around us in order to navigate the energy ahead of us? Any wisdom shared? It's deeply appreciated. Hi, Rosie. I've only been getting my nails done with like these long nails like this for a year now. And y'all, Rosie, you met me. You know I'm a big kid inside. So the fact that it ends up being a way for me to express like my childlike parts, it really makes me happy. And Maleficent is just such a bad bitch anyway. Not the Angelina Jolie version. Like, I much prefer the original Sleeping Beauty version. I like the fact that in the Sleeping Beauty tale, she was just straight up evil. Like hexing somebody because they don't invite you to a party is some crazy shit. But I like nutty women in film and television. I have no idea what that says about me. All right. I'm going to clarify one thing and then we'll get straight into it. Clarify the Seven of Swords. Clarify the Seven of Swords. I'll start, even though I'm pulling these clarifiers. What my spirit is saying, and I don't hear her voice often like that, but I'm hearing my grandmother's voice. You would be a fool to think that somebody else's mistreatment of you is about you. I'm going to say it again. You would be a fool to think that somebody else's mistreatment of you is about you. And I know that's a hard thing to understand. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually not. It's really not. Some of you guys have experienced some betrayals. And I know for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about betrayals. But there's something about this season, the rage and the violence and the anger of this season. I'm not even going to get into, is Dejanere here? Because Dejanere is my good friend and she heard me crying about this on the phone earlier. Mind you, my life is really placid right now. But the space that I've had to hold for people these last 2 weeks and just the amount of betrayal that people are dealing with right now, it's heartbreaking, right? And the thing that Spirit needs us to confront this week is to understand that we don't need to internalize other people's betrayals. If it's brought to our attention that somebody is manipulative, that somebody doesn't have the greatest intentions, and then we find out that those ill intentions are being enacted upon us, our responsibility is to get away from the bullshit. It's not for us to beat ourselves up. It's not for us to isolate. It's not for us to fall into the defeat of depression. We don't win by internalizing the BS things that people try to tell us about ourselves to justify their manipulations, right? That's not our responsibility. When we see the betrayal, it is our responsibility to move as far away from it into the future without trying to drag this person with us, and to really appreciate the people in our life that do pour into us. Because that's another thing that happens a lot when we get betrayed, right? We get so hyper fixated on the person mistreating us that we can neglect the people that are actually loving on and pouring into us. So this is a week where we really have to stand in our strength, understand our worthiness, really embrace our power. That's the thing that helps you move beyond these, right? Because if you don't do that, the other meaning of the Seven of Swords is that you will betray yourself. You will fool yourself. You will gaslight yourself into diminishing your own relationship to worthiness. And we cannot afford that. That's not something that we even have time for, right? So this is a week where we learn how to take care of ourselves, right? We understand that having the clarity of mind to be able to observe and understand people's behavior is a form of self-care, right? What are you saying, Mambo? A lot of times we can see things in people and we'll ignore it due to people pleasing, due to, the fact that we love people, right? We want to ignore the bad parts and only see the good. Knight of Pentacles is a necessary knight, even though he's not the sexiest of the knights. I always say that about him. Even when you look at the traditional cards, right, all the other knights are moving. He's the only one sitting still. Why is he sitting still? When you don't sit still, when you don't observe, danger can sneak up on you. When you don't sit still and when you don't observe, danger can sneak up on you. You know how people are always talking about, you got to watch out for the quiet ones. The quiet ones are the ones that are the most deadly, right? I think because y'all see me and I'm talking on live, y'all think I'm a talkative person. I'm actually not. I'm actually like freakishly quiet, especially when I've smoked weed. I don't talk a whole lot, right? There's a vantage point that comes from stillness. And rather than internalizing the betrayal, You need to let it be information that you use to teach you about how to observe people, how to observe your surroundings, what to be aware of. Turn that into knowledge that you then use to build the foundation and protect yourself, because that's the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. How am I observing my situation? What am I taking note of? Right? That's why a lot of times when I do readings for you guys and the Knight of Pentacles comes up, I tell you guys to go look at your important documents, right? What are you doing to make sure that you're stable, your foundation is stable, that your ducks are in a row, right? That's what you need to do in terms of transmuting this energy so that you don't let it turn into depression, right? You don't hyperfixate on the past. You don't sit there and beat yourself up to the point where you let life pass you by. Don't waste a whole bunch of summers on whatever this betrayal is, okay? Because again, that betrayal, that need to manipulate people is about the person. If you get manipulated, forgive yourself and move forward. Don't lose summers. Don't lose a whole bunch of time crying over the spilled milk. Because when you do that, it's hard for you to see the new opportunities that are coming to you, Ace of Pentacles, right? So a lot of you guys are going to have some blessings come your way. Now, here's the thing. Whoever this person is related to the Seven of Swords, be grateful that you learned about them before these blessings come around. Don't be so wrapped up on the fact that you have to learn what you don't like about them. Be grateful that you get the opportunity to release them before the new blessings come up. I'm going to use an analogy that I've been using all week, right? Y'all ever hear those stories about people who win the lottery? They'll win like $30 million in the lottery, and then 18 months later, they're broke again. And you're sitting there thinking, how the fuck can you blow through, $30 million in 18 months? Easily, if you don't have boundaries, if you have manipulators around you, if you have new cousins coming out of nowhere because they heard you won $30 million, right? Again, that's about the quality of people, but you get to have some say-so in who gets to be present to your blessings and your overflow, okay? So see the exposure of this Seven of Swords energy as a blessing, right? Because the last thing you want are predatory people around you when it's time to celebrate, when it's time to really revel in your blessings. Three of Cups. You only are going to want people around you that are capable of celebrating along with you and who aren't going to make your celebration about them, okay? So the general message for this week is, yes, you have had some heartbreak. That Seven of Swords moment is never a fun moment. Realizing that somebody around you is manipulating you or trying to get over on you is hurtful. It is, especially if it's somebody that you love or respect. But rather than beating yourself up, Five of Cups, and defaulting to depression around it, you have to really be grateful for the wisdom it gives you around how to protect yourself and your foundation, Knight of Pentacles. And you have to be grateful that your load is being lightened so that you can go on this new journey, Three of Wands. And that when these new blessings, Ace of Pentacles, come up, you're only going to be around people that are going to want to celebrate it with you, Three of Cups, as opposed to figuring out, how can I take? How can I minimize? How can I fool this person into handing their blessings to me, right? So that is the general message for the week. Let's go into health next. I want to see what's going on with us in terms of health and wellness for the week of September 23rd through the 29th. Sisters, angels, ascended master spirits, walk with me. What do we as a collective need to know about our health and wellness over these next 7 days? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about our situation in order to make the best decisions for the maintenance and alignment of our mind, body, and spirit? What are the habits, patterns, ways of being that we need to release, that we need to embrace, and that we need to affirm so that we have a healthy mind, body, and spirit? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, JL. Cindy, I don't know if I already said hi to you, but hey. Hey, Bertal. I'm glad that you all are able to join. Ancestors, clarify the Chariot. Some of you guys are busy, but busy needs to stop being an excuse for taking good care of yourself, okay? Life is gonna life, and you're gonna have moments where you feel like you're being pulled in different directions. The goal is to learn how to take care of yourself even when life is busy. Some of you guys are foregoing self-care because for you, it's almost like I have so much shit to do that I'll just take care of myself later, right? But first of all, if you don't take care of yourself now, there won't be a later. And I don't mean that to be dramatic. That's just real. When we don't take care of ourselves, we shorten our life. It's literally that serious, right? These are bad patterns that you guys picked up from your childhood or your younger self. So you could have either been, in a household where you were a parentified child, or, you could be someone who became a mother early or a parent early. And so, your childhood or your youth was cut short in a really particular way. Those are two things that I'm seeing with this Chariot clarified by the Six of Cups in the Seven of Baskets, right? So the choices you make, you really believe that they're the right ones, but they're coming from an emotional filter that makes you not see your situation clearly, right? So the Chariot is coming up to remind us that we have a responsibility to look out for ourselves, even when life is pulling us in opposite directions, right? Self-care and a reminder to prioritize you is essential in goal achievement, which is what the Chariot is about. It's about achieving our goals, right? The Six of Cups being the card of nostalgia talks about there being some old ways of thinking that you need to let go that are picked up either in childhood or in a younger version of yourself, because you can't see clearly. You're thinking from this old, outdated version of yourself, and it's not what the current version of you needs. And if you don't start to see yourself from your current position so that you can make better choices, you will have regret later down the line. Some of you guys, it's simply about you being able to ask for help. Your community is too big and you have too much love around you to be out here trying to white knuckle through life without asking people to help you. Send them babies to your cousin's house. Send them babies to your cousin's house for 3-4 hours so you can actually get some fucking sleep. Or just take a bath without people coming in and pooping in the toilet while you're trying to bathe. That has not happened to me, but that was something that I unfortunately did to my mother when I was a little girl. And I've been thinking about it a lot lately because I'm like, damn, I was a spoiled terrorist when I was a child. But y'all's communities are too big. It's too many people around you that love you. And if they knew that you were struggling to take a deep breath, if they knew that you needed a break, if they knew that you just needed somebody to come over 1 or 2 nights a week to cook dinner so that you had one less thing on your plate, they would do it. So stop acting like you don't have people in your life that love you. They want to see you be healthy. This is coming up in the health and wellness reading for a reason. Stop stressing yourself to death, literally, because you are too proud or you have such severe trust issues that you can't just let the people who love you give you a little bit of support. Okay? Now, this is coming up, yes, because it's impacting your health, but y'all got to stop saying that y'all want certain things in your life and not doing anything to stand in it, right? A lot of you guys are calling in big promotions. A lot of you guys are calling in responsibility. A lot of you guys are calling in certain things. And then you're not doing the things that you need to do in order to root that into reality, right? You're saying that you want community that loves and supports you. And then the people that are around you that love and support you, you're not giving them an opportunity to love and support your ass, right? You got to start putting those actions in place, right? And take it to spirit. Take it to spirit. Here's the thing, and I was just having this conversation with somebody this past Friday. right? Spiritual routine absolutely strengthens your relationship to spirit, and that's why we need to do it. We don't know how to hear spirit, how to receive messages from them if we're not praying and meditating regularly, right? But spiritual discipline and routine is self-care as well. Understanding that you are worthy of slowing down in the morning and taking that 10 to 15 minutes to pray and meditate is an act of self-care. So yes, you get blessings from that routine, but it's also about your worthiness as well. Do you feel like you're worthy of that? You feel alone even though your spirits are all around you, and the reason why you feel alone is because you won't allow yourself to have that 10 to 15 minutes in the morning to talk to them. And then you wonder why you feel so isolated. You're not even sitting there talking to your read. You don't even take time for read. And that's you, nigga. Like, you gotta take time for you, right? And Hierophant teaches us that the discipline of having those routines is so important, right? It can get worse and go into different something more difficult in your body, because we do have these cup cards. So there's always a warning around heart health in a health reading when there are these many cups. But it can also show up as nervous issues as well, right? Some of you guys are ignoring it and you're just like, oh, I'm anxious, I have anxiety. This many people on the planet should not be having anxiety. But the reason why you guys have anxiety is because you're not doing the things you need to do to take time for yourself. The Hermit card. What are you doing to disconnect from all the noise of the world so that you are tapped into you? What are you doing to create space for yourself? An inversion of the Hermit card as it relates to health is nervous issues, high anxiety, panic attacks, right? Shakes. Again, nervous issues. So be very, very careful. Right? I think a lot of you guys are so used to the Superman or Superwoman narrative that you literally fight and argue with the people around you that love you in your life to tell you to sit your ass down. And it's a petty argument because you just don't want to be told what to do. But you know good and damn well that you burn in both the wick at both ends. You know you're doing it. And then the agitation and the anxiety that you have because you're overworking yourself, you're spreading yourself too thin, is causing you to have fallouts with the people around you. So think about that. Think about the ways in which your anxiety and you not doing the things you need to do to heal your anxiety, to calm your nerves, is causing unnecessary arguments with people that you actually fuck with and that you like. But y'all are bickering like little schoolyard children because everybody's anxious and worked up. You're not making the best decisions. And the reason why you're not making the best decisions is because you're burning the wick at both ends. You're not asking for help. You're not setting things down. You're not prioritizing you. So prioritize yourself. This is a week where it's really, really important to prioritize yourself and to understand that prioritizing yourself does not make you selfish. Whatever messaging you got from the ways in which you were raised or from past jobs, because I am getting an energy, especially going back to this Hierophant institutions, part of the reasons why you may not have grown up in a family where you were given this lesson, but something about your work experience and your training has taught you that taking one for the team or putting other people before you can't meet your own individual goals if you are not taking care of yourself. And that requires rest. That requires letting the people that love you do for you. Most people aren't going to do for you if they don't have capacity. People are good at saying, I don't have it. But if somebody's volunteering support to you, don't reject it just because you feel like you got to do everything on your own. That's only going to lead to you literally getting sick later. It's going to put pressure on your heart. It's going to result in further nervous issues. You think your anxiety is bad now. If you don't start accepting help from people, it's only going to get worse, okay? We'll do money next, and then we'll wrap up with love. If you guys are enjoying the reading, make sure you like the video. Like the video as you come into the room. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I've only been doing the weekly forecast lately just because it's only the thing that I have capacity for. I do sometimes do celebrity readings or current affairs readings. I'm not going to make promises to you guys right now. Pop culture is very triggering for me. So I can't promise you when I'll start doing those again, but I do want to go back to them because I know that you guys enjoyed them. Just give me a little bit of time for the Diddy, Ray J, Boosie, Abusers Unite stuff to die down, and then we'll go from there. But I say all that to say, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, subscribe, because I don't just do these readings, I do other things too. And if you're enjoying this reading and you would like to see more from me, subscribing to the channel is the easiest way to keep in contact with me. Of course, find me on Instagram, like me on Instagram, Facebook, all that. But this is where I stream the most, okay? Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits of me. What wisdom do we need about the week ahead of us as it relates to money, prosperity, and stability? What are the lessons, blessings, insights, and experiences we will have around our money and the flow of resources in our life? What can we do to position ourselves to bring in more blessings around money than we experience loss? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Yeah, I did say that this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen this fast. I'm grateful that it did, because people need to see swift justice in these matters. But yeah, I knew he was going to end up doing jail time. For some reason, I thought this was going to drag out years, similarly to the way it did with Epstein. But this is moving pretty quick, so. I said that in my reading last year, and the thing that always trips me out is there's a tarot class that I taught a few years ago, and I used Diddy as an example of a debilitated or a evil, for lack of better words, King of Pentacles. And it's crazy because a lot of the stuff that I said in that class about, the tarot of the royal court, a lot of that stuff has been coming out. And especially the stuff about his sons, them not having their own identity, them engaging in a lot of the same abuses of power that he does because they believe that it's their birthright to get away. All that stuff I said in that class, and I taught that class like 2 years ago before Cassie even came out and said what she said. So if you guys are interested in learning lessons about tarot and you like doing it through popular culture, consider purchasing that class. It's on my website. I want to point out the fact that this is a 6-card spread and there's only one pentacle card here. The majority of the cards are swords and they are cups. I'm glad that you look forward to the readings, Miss Renee. It's good to have you here. So this tells me that a lot of what we are going through in terms of money, finances, where we want to be this week has to do with our thought patterns and our emotions. How our emotions impact our thoughts and creates limitation for us around our money. And the biggest thing that a lot of us need to understand is that, and I know I've mentioned this phrase earlier, burning the wicked both ends. Stop acting like, now it's not our fault that we believe this, but you don't have to work all the time. You don't have to go all the time in order to get money. And I think that this is the problem for a lot of you. Some of you, the only way that you can understand financial increase is to work additional hours, is to work 60 and 80-hour weeks. That's not helpful for you, right? Yes, you get to the money, which is the initial goal, but the collateral damage of isolating yourself from family and friends, running your health ragged, all those things end up not being worth it, and you're tunnel visioning on getting to this money in not the most effective way, right? That's the thing about Knight of Swords. When they are clear and they have the right path and they're charging towards something, that tunnel vision tendency is helpful to them. But when they lock in on the wrong target, it ends up doing the exact opposite, and they do more damage than they do good, okay? Some of you guys really need to be teaching yourself what it looks like to call in money that's not related to you doing additional work. Money related to your skill set, absolutely. Because there are a lot of you guys that have a skill set that you are afraid to monetize, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. A lot of you guys have a skill set that you're afraid to monetize. And here's the thing, monetizing that skill set may not even require a whole lot of hard work. It just requires temporary training in the moment, and that temporary training will position you to have a lot of bounty in your future, right? So rather than running yourself ragged, this is a time where you really need to think about, okay, she's doing it, so I don't think she's going to mind me using her as an example, because it's not me putting her on blast, it's celebrating her. I have a godchild that makes beautiful yarn creations. Like she's amazing. And she started making, in addition to other things, she started making these really gorgeous cases for people to put their cards and decks in, right? And she's already in the process of starting up her Etsy, and she's going to start putting herself out there. But imagine if she weren't doing that. Imagine if she was just sitting around like, I'm tired of working really, really hard, but I'm not going to monetize this beautiful, amazing skill that I have, where I'm crafting these things already just because I like to do it, right? Some of you guys, this thing that you can monetize, it's something that you already do anyway. It's something in your life that already brings you joy and pleasure. So why not take the time to really teach yourself what it looks like to be able to get money from it? There's nothing wrong with having a thing that you love to do and being compensated for it, especially if it fits a need that other people have. That doesn't make you predatory. I think we have such a nasty relationship to capitalism, and we've only seen really disgusting, unhealthy versions of it, that we think that anybody that's doing something where they get compensated, that makes them greedy. No, it just makes you wise, so that you're being paid for a skill set that you're already exercising and using. Some of you guys don't do it because of the emotional tie or the emotional filter that allows you to not see things clearly. Okay, Alazone, I'm grateful because they're beautiful, and I'm so proud of you. I'm really proud of you for taking the lead, because the things you create are absolutely gorgeous, and they're only going to make people happy. It makes you happy to make them. So this ends up being a really good exchange for you and people in the community. Okay. I love my god babies. I do. I love them so much. But the only thing that's holding you back from doing this is some sort of false perception, some sort of emotional filter that makes it hard for you to actually see your opportunities clearly. So instead of you doing this thing or figuring out how you can monetize the things you already do for joy anyway, point blank period, so that way you don't have to stress yourself out, you are convincing yourself that you have to, attach yourself to more work, attach yourself to predatory opportunity. You don't have to do none of that. So this is about getting a control over your emotions so that you see options clearly, so that you're not wearing yourself out. This is a painful chapter that needs to come to an end for a lot of you guys. I'm being moved to talk about the Wells Fargo case. You guys know what I'm talking about. I think it was probably last month, where that woman literally died on her job and was in the office dead for 4 days, and nobody bothered. Nobody even recognized that she hadn't moved. These companies they don't care about you. These corporations do not care about you. These institutions do not care about you. Am I saying go out and quit your job tomorrow? No, we still live under capitalism, and, rent and heat are nice things to have, right? It feels good to have a roof over your head. It feels good to have warmth in your home. I'm not saying sacrifice that. But this pattern of feeling like you can't survive or that you can't thrive unless you are literally running yourself ragged for an organization, it's not sustainable. So whether it's figuring out how to monetize your gifts, or whether it's figuring out in whatever it is, this pattern of running yourself ragged is a painful chapter that needs to come to an end. And I'm going to say a phrase that I said to somebody earlier today. Life is hard. Figure out the kind of hard you want to go into. Figure out the kind of hard you want to commit yourself to. Is it hard to set up a shop and trust that it's going to work out? Is it hard to do the research of figuring out how to monetize your gift? Yeah. But what's even harder is running yourself ragged. What's even harder is ending up in the hospital due to overwork and dehydration. What's even harder is having burnout and dealing with some sort of mental health exacerbation because you didn't figure out a way how to lighten your load, right? Some of y'all already know what y'all got to do. Y'all just got to do that shit. Stop thinking, move. Aries energy, Knight of Wands. Be so in movement around it that you don't even give yourself the opportunity to slow down enough to have thoughts, okay? And in doing that, you end up being surprised by how much opportunity you get. Some of you guys are going to be shocked, probably to the point of tears, when you see how much people are willing and ready to pour into you. Once that cup is overflowing, once all those opportunities for people, because this thing, it's not only going to be successful because you have developed your skill set, Eight of Pentacles. You need to be able to have this experience so that you can understand how many people fuck with you and want to see you win. You have to be vulnerable and let your heart chakra be open and be ready to receive. Some of you guys, and I always say, this is why I always prioritize heart chakra work when I'm doing money work for people. Because what does it matter if you get the financial blessing and you don't know how to receive it? And why do you think your blessing has to come from overwork and being slaving away at an institution when you can just trust that you have a light in you that people want to pour into? Ace of Cups. So this is the week where you really ask yourself, like, yeah, I want more money, but what do I want to do to get it? And how do I do it in a way where I don't burn out, where I'm actually experiencing pleasure in the process of having this increase? These are the conversations that you need to be having with yourself this week. And whatever gets revealed in this Ten of Swords that you are clear you got to walk away from it and cut off, let yourself do it. For some of you guys, it's trusting that you don't have to work a whole bunch of overtime, but that you really just have to pour your energy into your personal investments. For some of you guys, it's understanding that you are a part of some sort of contract where you're not being compensated right. And you have to let go of that contract and trust that, opportunities for you to be paid with your work, whatever it is for you, this is the week where you grapple with it. And grapple with is not the right word because I feel like grappling is the issue for some of y'all. Y'all spend way too much time in your emotions about a decision. Once you get clear, be in action. Knight of Wands. Just move on it. Because some of you guys have been mulling over this shit for way too long. You don't need more grappling. You don't need to think about it. You need to be in movement. And that's the money reading. Let's wrap up with love. If you guys are enjoying this reading, make sure you hit that like button. If you have it to give and you don't mind sharing, leave a love offering to show your appreciation. They are not a necessity. This, again, is an offering I give every week to the community. But if you do want to give a love offering, just to let me know that you appreciate the wisdom, they're always appreciated. Sisters, angels, and masters, spirits who walk with me. What wisdom does the collective need at this time about love, romance, and matters of the heart? What are the experiences, lessons, blessings, breakthroughs we will have as it relates to love and romance in our life? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our patterns, habits, and environment in order to have the experiences of love we want to have over these next 7 days? Any listeners share it is deeply appreciated. Some of you are giving way too much in your relationship. And for some of you, this is coming up because the relationship is dead end. For some of you, others of you, this is coming up not because the relationship is dead end. This is actually your opportunity to reroute the direction of a relationship. This is a hard lesson about keeping boundaries within a marriage or in a long-term relationship. Just because you are in a relationship does not mean that your partner gets to run over you. Some of you guys are pouring too much into a person. You're letting your ride or die tendency run you ragged, literally, because of fear of losing someone. But here's the thing: if somebody really loves you, they're not going to leave you just because you set a boundary. They're not going to leave you just because you express what your expectations are to them. So this is about you. This theme about inner child healing and not bringing the lessons around neglect from the younger version of yourself into your present moment is coming up again. I don't remember which spread it came up in the last time. I apologize because I don't remember which spread as I go into the next one. But it's coming up again here in Love and Romance, right? Wounded Warrior, 9 of Wands. There's an issue in the relationship, and yes, you bounce back from it over and over again, but nigga, you tired. You are fucking tired, and you don't want to keep being the wounded warrior. You don't want to keep having to heal over and over again from the same wound. So this is about you coming to terms with that and figuring out what you need to do around it. And for a lot of you, the wound is overgiving. It's overdoing. You're pouring too much into a situation. For some of you guys, it's literal money. So you probably have a partner that's bad with money, or they just don't work, or they work when they fucking feel like it or some shit. But then some of you guys, it's energy. Like, it's like your partner is an additional child. You're doing all the maintenance of the house. Your energy, your life force is being ran ragged, right? So this is a conversation that you need to have with the person that you love, and you need to be able to stand powerfully in it. Again, I want to reiterate, some of you guys are either married or you've been together so long that it feels like you're married. But for some of you all, the reason why this message is coming out is because some of y'all ain't even been with these motherfuckers for that long. You shouldn't even be doing all this, right? You're giving like marriage level sacrifice to somebody that you've only been dating for less than a year. And you're doing it out of fear, right? 8 of Swords. Here's the thing. I say this to people all the time, and I had to learn this the hard way in my 20s. We want to be the cool girl. We want to be like, easy breezy. We want to be like, oh, everything is fine. And here's the thing. People don't respect you when you're that way. So you're doing all this people pleasing. You're doing all this self-sacrificial bullshit, thinking that it's going to make the person love you, and it's actually going to do the opposite, right? 8 of Swords, manifesting your fears by not acknowledging your fears, right? Ignoring that you have the fears and letting those things create the self-imposed imprisonment. You think that doing all this self-sacrificial, wounded, hurt me over and over again bullshit is going to make this person dedicated to you and make them loyal to you. No, it's not. It's actually going to make them resentful, and you're going to lose them anyway, which is the fear that you have. So you have to, and this is a message regardless of what your gender is, okay? I want to say that before I say what I say next. You need to stand in your empress. You need to stand in your worthiness. Empress shows up in spaces with the belief that people are going to take good care of her. And when she shows up and people don't do it, guess what she does? She ups and she fucking leaves, right? How many, are there any, my Ifa cousins, are there any of y'all that are present here? Because I know I'm going to bastardize this story about Oshun, but I've heard the story about Oshun where the gods were not listening to her. So she just basically got up and left, and she basically took her power away. And it wasn't until they apologized to her and got some act right that she came back and gave her blessings to the world. Now, I know that's an oversimplification. Again, Ifa cousins, help me say it right. But that's the general gist of it, right? Why, and this, again, this don't matter what your gender identity is. Protect your feminine by standing in your worthiness. Some of you guys are pouring too much into relationships out of fear and desperation of those relationships ending. And that type miserly understanding is not helpful to you. It's not. You sitting here believing that you have to take the crumbs of love is only going to force you into more desperation. So be careful about that. If what you want is a reciprocal relationship, if what you want is a relationship where you are being treated well, you have to move in that way. And even if that moving in that way means that you get up and you take a break from your partner, it means that you set some boundaries. It means that you have difficult, whatever it is, you have to be so dedicated to the quality of the relationship that you are in that you let go of the people pleasing. Because the people pleasing is what has you in the position of being the wounded warrior. It's what has you worn out. It's what has you burnt out from your relationship. And that burnout is only going to lead to, again, Eight of Swords, your fears being manifested. Y'all got to exercise your voice in your relationship. And you have to do it from a place of worthiness. You can't be so wrapped up in quote unquote hurting your partner's feelings. Because here's the thing. If your partner is with you because they love you and they want to see you win, they're going to respect the fact that you are asking for more reciprocity. And if they don't respect it, then that's not meant to be your partner. And you got to be on your chariot shit and be willing to move forward. Okay? That is the love reading for the week. That is all the spreads for the week. You got your general, your health, your money, your love. So now this is where I take a break to let you guys know about the things I'm working on. If you have a question that you want me to answer, hi, Jasmine. If you have a question that you want me to answer, go ahead and start typing it in the comments section. While you're doing that, I'm just going to bring you up to speed on the thing I'm working on. Tomorrow marks week 2 of the Sacred Roots free mentorship program. I know that for whatever reason, there was confusion for some people, and there are folks that still want to join. We are willing to take you, even though it's a week late, if you are willing to do your work from last week, okay? So if you are interested, hit that link below to join the Facebook group and get the link to the Discord and go from there, okay? My Sacred Awakening workshop, womb healing workshop that I teach with my goddaughter, Ferdasi, is returning in November. I know we've taken a big break. The last one was earlier this year, but we needed the time to work on some other endeavors and to really think about how to go back into this, right? So we're going to be doing it again starting in November. It is a 4-week womb healing program. We learn how to do womb healing over other people by healing our own wombs. We're going to be talking about birthing trauma. We're going to be talking about recovering from sexual trauma. We're going to be talking about the importance of the womb as it relates to prosperity. We're going to be talking about a lot of things over those 4 weeks. So if you're interested in learning more about how to heal your womb and how that supports you in the healing of the overall divine feminine, join the link below so that you can get more information. Ancestral Life Path readings are still on sale, at least for we got 7 more days. They are on sale for 75% off on my website, soleilconjureshop.com, until September 30th. So if you've never gotten an Ancestral Life Path reading, go ahead and book that, What else? Oh, Sacred Alignment, which is my Divine Feminine retreat, is going to be taking place in April of 2025 in Houston, Texas. If you would love to do a 3-day Divine Feminine Healing retreat with a bunch of amazing women, where you not only have fun, but you learn how to connect with your Divine Feminine as well as how to heal the Divine Feminine in your ancestry, go ahead and click the link below. It's going to be an amazing time. The one we just did in June here in Atlanta was absolute perfection. I couldn't have asked for more. I still find myself daydreaming about the event and how amazing it was. We made some really great connections with one another. So yeah, those are the things that I'm working on right now. Again, Ancestral Life Path readings are only after September 30th. This is not going to be like in the past where y'all talk me into extending the sale. These shits have been on sale for too long anyway. So trust me when I say that after September 30th, they're going to go back up to their $150 price, and just book while you can. Okay. Let's see. Kinetic wants to know if they should focus on healing the relationship with their mother. That is a great question. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Should Kinetic be focused on healing the relationship between them and their mother at this time? Should they be focused on that, or should they be focused on career and building their own tribe? If they should rebuild the relationship, why? If not, why not? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I heard about the last one. We had a phenomenal time, Miss Renee. We had an absolutely phenomenal. Like when I tell you, like people literally did not want to leave. No one wanted to leave. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to share that again with more people. The only thing that's going to heal the relationship between you and your mother is time. Short answer is yes, you need to be focused on building your career. Yes, you need to be focused on developing your own tribe, but that does not mean that because you are doing those things that reconciliation with your mother is not going to happen and that it won't happen. You need to be involved in the celebration and the dance of your own life, period, because you don't celebrate you enough and you don't do things that are for you enough, right? And so you need to be around other people that are in your peer group or who are working towards things that are similar to you so that you can be much more joyful instead of hyper fixating on the things that don't serve you. Now, here's the thing. That's your mama and you love her. And it sucks that you guys are not getting along, right? Right now, you have a lot of fear that it will never, ever, ever get better. And that is not true. It will get better, but you just need to start praying and visualizing what you want the reconciliation to look like. So it's not like something that you actively need to prioritize, because realistically, with the nature of the falling out, it's your mother's responsibility to pour into you first, right? If you pour into the situation first, it's only going to make you resentful. But with her being the elder in the situation, representing institution in this situation, the pouring out needs to come from her. So until she's at a place where she's capable of doing that, yes, baby, you got to go out and you got to live your own life. You got to build your own tribe. You got to make a career that you're proud of. You got to really focus on yourself right now. And you guys will reconcile, but it's not your responsibility at this moment to make it happen, okay? I hope that was helpful for you. Let's see. What is currently in my way that I need to remove so I am not stagnant in my options? I got you, Jasmine. I know somebody else asked this question, but you talking to me. There tends to be synchronicity in a lot of these readings. So that makes sense. So this is what will help Jasmine in terms of not being stagnant. What will support her in being able to stay in action around her goals and the things she wants? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Only 2 cards have come out, but I already know what this message is, baby. You're not stagnant, you're burnt out. You're not stagnant, you're burnt out. You actually do a lot to get to, So you got to rest. You're not stagnant. You are burnt out. So you need to learn about pacing. Sun card, baby gets what baby wants. Leo energy, hardworking energy, somebody who meets their goals. So you're doing the right things right now. So it's important. That's the one thing. The important thing is that you give yourself credit because you are and have been doing the right things. But you got to sit your black ass down and get some sleep, right? We do all this, no days off, no breaks, hustle hard, conversation. So we end up thinking that if we're not moving all the time, that we're not being productive, and that's bullshit. Understanding the necessity of rest and when we're supposed to be at a space of pause is an important part of the work too. Four Swords is literally a knight resting after battle. So you are not stagnant. You need to sleep. You need to rest. If you don't rest, you won't even have the clarity of mind to plan your next steps. So what you are experiencing in stagnation is a call for you to be still and to rest so that you can engage in reflection, so that you even know what the next seeds are to plant. You don't even know what the next seeds are to plant. And so the rest is going to give you the clarity of mind so that you even understand, okay, this is the seed I need to plant in this season. And if I do it in this season, I'll have bounty in the future. So I would say stop being hard on yourself. You're not stagnant. You are at a space where if you don't rest, recuperate, and reflect, it will lead to burnout. And now that you say it like that, God really has put me on pause real. Yeah. Spirit will sit us down if we don't sit down for ourselves, right? And let it happen so that you don't wear yourself out and make yourself sick, or you don't get to a place where you lose passion around what it is you're doing, okay? Hey, Nick. Hey, Nicole. Good to see you. I know, Kinetic, it's hard. I know you haven't spoken in 5 years, but that's even more of a reason why you need to focus on yourself. The last thing you want to do is waste another 5 years hoping for this reconciliation when it's not even your responsibility to initiate the reconciliation. So I hope you can understand this, what I'm saying, Kinetic. If not, let me know. The next round of Rich Spirit is going to be the first week of December. We just finished the last one. I will leave the link to the WhatsApp group next week, so that way when we start advertising again, you can just go ahead and join it. But yeah, it won't be until December. JL wants to know, what is the blockage preventing them from starting their own business? I got you. Ancestors, angels, and masters. Is there a blockage preventing JL from starting her own business? If so, what is the nature of it? What can you reveal about her starting her own business? What does she need to know at this time that will help her and allow her to move forward? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm gonna try to do 2 more questions after this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get off for the night. I am a part of, so you guys have probably picked up from the nails and other things that I'm a little bit of a nerd. Like, I like geeky things. And I'm a part of a Facebook group for Black people who love Interview with the Vampire. And we rewatch old episodes of it on Sundays together. And so I want to make sure that I'm off of here in enough time to fix my dinner and be ready to watch old episodes with the other ladies. So that's not what I said at all. The kinetic baby. You've gotten readings from me before, and it's really important that you hear what I say, as opposed to creating, like right now you're upset, and that's not what I said. I did not say that your mother did not care about you. Anybody else in this chat heard me read for Kinetic and heard me say her mother doesn't love her or doesn't care about her? Because if you did, you need to let me know, because I know I did not say that. What I did say is that you cannot force the type of reconciliation that needs to happen. So instead of you spinning your wheels and wasting your summers for it to happen, you need to focus on your career and focus on building your tribe. Let your life be full so that you're not denying yourself joy. And then when she learns whatever spiritual lesson she has to learn, the reconciliation can take place. Okay? If this is something that's really difficult for you, I really want to strongly encourage you to book a private reading with me. Because sometimes, and I know y'all think that I'm not even gonna go there. Sometimes getting these questions answered on a public forum like this can be really tough for people to hear. And then their emotions will pop up and make it hard for them to get the message. So if you want to talk to me about this further in a one-on-one, go to my website, book a 15 or a 30-minute divination, and we can talk about it further one-on-one. But baby, that is not what I said, and that's not what came up in the cards, okay? You have one mother, and your mother loves you. But and remember, go back to the general reading I did. Somebody else's inability to meet you where they should is often more about them than it is about you. Her being in this space is not about you. It's about her and her personal deficits. I know it hurts, baby. I know it hurts. But it's also really important that you not convince yourself that she doesn't love you. That's not the truth. Okay? There are two things that are making it hard for you. You're trying to do this on your own in a really particular way, and that's not how you're supposed to do it, JL. You're supposed to reach out into community. You're supposed to allow yourself to get help. 10 of Cups. So there are more, the resources, I think you automatically think about money resources, but what you need to access are your people resources, because there are people around you that can put you up on game and help you understand how to get this started. You also have to work out of courage, right? A lot of what you do when you're starting your own business is trusting, right? Having faith, trusting, stepping out on passion. I think there's a part of you that wants all the T's to be crossed and the I's to be dotted, and that's not, sorry, and that's not how it works when you're trying to start a business. So you being able to step out on faith is going to be absolutely essential. Okay. You're scared too. And it's okay to be scared, but you got to admit it and do it scared, right? You have to be compassionate with yourself. And what this means in this instance is give yourself the opportunity to, it's not something that happens overnight. It takes most businesses 5 years to stabilize. So if you want to start a business, you have to move in a way that's compassionate. And what I mean by that is you got to stop being hard on yourself. You have to be comfortable with the fact that it's not going to look perfect in the beginning. It's not going to look perfect for a long time, right? So coming at this from a space of emotional compassion as opposed to a space of emotional beat up and comparison is going to be a necessity, okay? So that's what I'm seeing. All right. Sunija, I've been in that place. It'll come slowly. It does. And I'm trying to do a lot less oversharing on this live, but I've been there before with family members. Not my mother, but other elders in my family. I've been there before, and it does hurt. But a part of our maturation is to, I know I'm talking about people pleasing a lot, but we stand up for ourselves by teaching our elders that when it's their responsibility to come back or to reconcile, they have to be the ones to do it. And unfortunately, a lot of times it takes them longer because they've been so used to abusing the relationship and not having to take responsibility that it's going to take them a long time to bump their head. That doesn't mean that you bend by going back. That doesn't mean that you don't let them take their responsibility. And I know it's hard, but That doesn't mean that you cut your life short or that you don't give yourself opportunities waiting for them to get their stuff together. Okay, baby? Not me on here pet naming y'all like y'all my y'all my actual students. Let's see. Brittany wants to know, will their project yield profits, or should they focus on a gift to the community, on being a gift to the community? Let's see. Ancestors, angels, and masters. Will Brittany's project yield profit? That was too many. I'm gonna keep shuffling. Will her project yield profit? If so, what does that look like? If not, why not? Any with some share is deeply appreciated. The fact we have to share you is a problem. I'm gonna do one more after Brittany, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I've been on here almost an hour and a half now. I think that's a fair amount of time. Again, if you would like to show your appreciation for these readings tonight, you can do so by leaving me a love offering at my PayPal or my Cash App. Honestly, I appreciate the love offerings, but there are some of you that could benefit from a private reading. No, Divine 8, I didn't see your question. Would you be okay with reposting it for me? If you repost it, I'll answer it. So if it comes down to you sending me a love offering or booking a private reading, just book the reading. Book the reading. I know that there are a good number of you watching right now who want guidance from me. But it's scary. It's scary to get a personal question asked on a public forum, even if it is free. So go ahead and just book the read, especially now while I have those ancestral life path readings, because I do let people ask me a personal question or two at the end of them. Just book a reading. Book a reading if you know you need it. Don't be cheap with yourself. Don't be cheap with spirit. Book a reading if you know you need it, okay? I'm seeing that this needs to be an offering that's free for the public. But it's really important that you not see that. So a part of you doesn't want to make it a free offering to the public because that feels like defeat to you. And Spirit is saying, no, that's not true. And then honestly, if you allow this to be something that is a gift to the community, it positions you for people to really want to pour into your next paid endeavor. We have the 4 of Cups. So you kind of known, or you've been getting hints around you that this is something that needs to be given to the community, but you've been looking at the work you put into it and the options around it, and you really wanted this to be something that was of profit, right? But again, Spirit has been kind of nudging you that it probably shouldn't be for a minute now. So it's really important that you listen to that wisdom and that you trust that in making this a gift to the community, that it just opens up a pathway for other opportunities going forward. So I'm seeing that it needs to be a gift to the community at this time. Divine 8, are you able to repost your question? Divine 8, are you there? Okay. What are Jay's, and we'll wrap up after you because I don't think there was anyone else. What are Jay's feelings and intentions for our connection for the rest of 2024? You are very welcome, Brittany, anytime. What wisdom does Divine 8 need at this time about Jay's intentions? What does she need to know about their intentions for the rest of 2024? And even after that, just what's this motherfucker's intentions, period? Ain't no time limit on it. Just let us know. Whatever nosiness, whatever gossip, whatever tea you want to bless us with, ancestors, go ahead and share the wisdom with us. Any wisdom is deeply appreciated. They may be a little nasty. It's a lot of lust in my candle. It's making me uncomfortable, actually. So they definitely have an investment in you. They are being pulled. Does this person have like a ex that's close by, or like a baby mama or something? Because I do see them being pulled in two directions, feeling like they're having to juggle you and something else. Now, that won't be the circumstances all the time. They are figuring out a way to get control over that situation, because they do want to invest their time and their energy into you. Okay. You guys are long distance. Okay. That makes sense. Two of Pentacles, feeling like they're stretched. Like there's just a lot that they have to navigate. They're walking a tightrope in this relationship. Now, they do think a lot about how to change that in the future, and that's something that they want to figure out how to do. So I don't see that long distance will be a consistent thing with you all forever, right? They are really like true in their intentions about building something with you. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, which talks about them really wanting to learn how to meet your needs, how to be able to be there for you, what that looks like. There's a learning curve in this relationship with them, but they're willing to do everything within their power to make it work. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that they have good intentions. And they really like you in a nasty way, and that's a huge part of the reason why they're willing to put this much work into figuring out and making it work. They're genuine. They're really genuine. Okay. I hope that this was good. I hope you guys had fun. I hope that everybody that asked a question got the wisdom that they needed. Thank you all again for joining me. Make sure you share the replay with other make sure you share the replay. It's good to like somebody in a nasty way. I don't know why I worded it like that, but I hope you guys had a great time. Share the replay with as many people as you can. The more the merrier on this channel. I want to thank you for your time. If you would like to book an ancestral life path reading, click the link below. If you are interested in learning more about either my Divine Feminine Retreat or the Womb Healing Workshop, which will take place in November, the links for those are below as well. I look forward to speaking with you all next week. And until then, please take care. Okay, bye. Happy Sunday.